I give to you the Mantastic Four.
We're back for another week of the Mantastic Four. If you haven't done so, be sure to like, fave, subscribe, hit those notifications. Don't want to forget to say that this time. Just like we did last week where we had Jay Rudd in the hot seat, this week we have Chuck Daddy, the infamous, notorious Chuck Daddy, hailing from the Garden State. What's up, Chuck?
What's going on there, Paul? How are you? What's up, Mantastic Four?
What's up, Chuck Daddy?
Man? I think this like, follow, comment is going to be our Mantastic Four son.
Yo!
Yeah.
Yes!
Yeah, like, follow, comment. I was like, what can I do with this? It's like our gang sign.
You know,
we're gonna get merch. We're gonna get merch.
It's like
follow content. Follow content.
It's like the old WCW, right? The NWO, and it was NWO for life. Yeah.
Yo, Chuck, though, that's genius. It's like, wow.
It's branding. It's branding. Everyone knows what FLCS means now. No one knew that before, Chuck.
Yeah, nobody knew.
Today I posted Chuck's interview on the 3% Man Facebook group page, and I said, the blurb. I always put this out on Mondays to that group. And one of the comments, the first comment was this guy Jose. He commented with #pro tip, and then under that I said, well, when you know, and he said FLCS.
Hey, I gotta check this out.
I'll send you a screenshot of it. I don't know if you're in that group.
It's funny, man. That shit happens when I go out. Like,
so Chuck's in the hot seat this week, and since Jay Rudd was in the hot seat last week, we're gonna have him go first. And Spider Guy, since he was in there the week before, we'll let him go next, and I'll go last. And we'll just take turns, just like the last couple of episodes, and we're going to ask Chuck a whole bunch of questions. You ready, Chuck?
Bring it on, make it hurt.
That's what she said. Okay.
Hey, man.
Jay Rudd, you're up, brother.
All right, cool. Can you guys hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Awesome. All right, Chuck, I want to know, what are your thoughts on OnlyFans reversing their decision to delete sexually explicit content from their platform?
Dang.
Wait. They reversed that?
Yeah.
They reversed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, you know what? It's a new generation. All you have to do is just bitch, whine, and complain, and you'll get what you want automatically.
Pretty much. Just be a woman. Just be a girl.
I wish that worked.
Be a woman.
I mean, look, as a businessman, I think it was a really wise decision on their part, because what the hell else are people going to log on to OnlyFans to do? I mean, all they're doing is just basically promoting the oldest profession. It's cyber pimping, and a business is never going to die. And if they didn't keep it going, somebody else would. So why not? I'm sure they had plans for OnlyFans, but they can probably sell the data from their company to another company and launch that as wholesome educational whatever.
It's a lot like what happened to Tumblr, right? Like, no one even talks about Tumblr anymore because they banned the nudity and the porn and shit like that, and everyone's like, well, why the fuck do we even need this then?
You can't run a website or an app like a fucked up marriage where it starts out with all the sex in the world and then you just cut it off and expect people to hang around. People are going to be divorcing OnlyFans. So
damn, that was a very good explanation.
Yeah, I dig it. Spider Guy, you're up.
Chuck, I've met you in real life. You're a cool guy, but I gotta ask, when did you develop this personality? This hey guys, fuck this, let's do it kind of personality?
It's kind of like just been me my whole life. I mean, shit, people have been following me around since preschool. It's just kind of always had that born leadership role. Fuck it, let's do it, all or nothing personality. And
even in middle school.
Dude, middle school, preschool, grammar school, everything. It's always kind of served me. And I mean, look, I've talked to you before. I've got some shortcomings too. I'm like the definition of a dyslexic, and I think a lot of what it does is it just overcompensates for my shortcomings. Where fuck, I'm smart, but I ain't gonna read the homework. But if those three attractive girls read the homework to me, I can give them all the questions. So, ladies, come on over. Let's all get A's.
Hey, you don't need that.
Maybe later one of you will get the D.
If you help me get an A, I'll give you the D. Yeah.
You help me get an A.
Pro tip.
My friends in college used to laugh about it. Be like, "Oh, you're going to a study group? Chuck's going to a study group." Yeah, his study group is Miss Pennsylvania and 2 strippers. You should check it out. You know?
God,
that's awesome. That's awesome. Chuck,
they're still my Facebook friends today.
that's hilarious. Chuck, how many times you been banned from TikTok now? What, like you're on your 7th account?
Jesus. So, all right. One I had 16, one I had 57. Then I started like 3 new accounts, which were like my primary one, a secondary one. I had like a troll account so I could fuck with people. And I actually had Linton, my business partner's account, on my phone too, which was all church stuff. And they literally wiped out like 4 accounts on my phone at once. So
Jesus.
Yeah, 4, 5, 6, I think 7 if you're counting his. I'm on lucky number 8.
And now you're Bambi the dog now, right?
Yeah. I tried to build my dog a Facebook profile, but it got taken down because he was underage. So I just used the email to build another TikTok.
Oh man!
Wow.
It's funny because today I was posting a bunch of promo videos for our interview, and the hardest thing about uploading it to all the different platforms is changing your fucking username on all the fucking apps you're on, because you have different usernames for every app, and then on Instagram you have 2 fucking accounts, and I'm like, God damn, I gotta tag both of these.
So I mean, I hashtag everything with my name, and I hashtag everything with Chuck Daddy. So if you just Google that, you'll find some of my accounts. And like, right. I mean, from my first TikTok account, like over a year ago, anybody who stitched or duetted that, like the ghost of all my old profiles lives on. There's just endless content out there.
Oh yeah, same with my old shit. If I Google certain things, I'll see people's duets of my original videos, and they'll have they'll have a million fucking views on those too, and I'm like, God damn it, that could have been mine. Like,
same here, bro. Same here, man.
Oh man. All right, J-Red, you're up.
Chuck, you into real estate, right? How'd you get into? Yeah. How'd you get into real estate?
God, how long-winded of an answer do you want? The short answer is, if I look back to when I was a kid, I always wanted to be big, like physically large. I always wanted to be rich, and I also wanted to have like some degree of fame. The physically large thing I did through lifting weights and bodybuilding. The whole fortune thing just wasn't fucking happening with the job. I had a pretty decent one working in Manhattan. I started reading a lot. Started investing in the stock market, really sucked at it, managed to lose like 80 grand in a split second, which was everything I had. I was reading a bunch of, well, whatever. It was the best 80 grand I ever lost, because I realized that if I had to work again to make it back and save it, it would have taken me 4 years. And when you got nothing to lose. So I was reading a bunch of real estate books, and I found a strategy that kind of resonated with my personality, which is really good at solving problems and not that good at doing math. And I learned to exploit a bunch of legal loopholes that nobody had been doing in like the Northeast, and I kind of standardized creative real estate over the years in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, Connecticut. And J-Rod, it's not the answer that people want to hear, but it's broke as shit. And I just figured if I had the same 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 52 weeks a year as everybody else, I'm going to quit my job and throw every fucking thing I have into this and do this. And if not, I don't deserve to live. And then I told the world I was going to be a millionaire before I was 30, and I did it at 29. And you get there and you realize that ain't shit either.
That's some like law of attraction shit, like Bob Proctor talks about that a lot, where he's like, you can't sit there and have a fallback plan.
No.
Because if you have a fallback plan, that you're setting yourself up for failure. You just have to go like without a fucking safety net and just say, I'm going to fucking do this.
I've had the opportunity to hang out with your buddy Bob, and I remember like literally 25, quit my fucking job, and used to go to like a Charlie Brown's, which is like one of these shitty restaurants, every Wednesday night with a bunch of friends from high school and college for wing night. And they all knew I quit my job, and I had like a Nokia, and it was just ringing off the hook at like 8 o'clock at night with business calls. And it was just watching my friends, some of who I still talk to today, but we took a big hiatus of like 5 years. They're going, what's plan B? What are you going to do if this doesn't work? What are you going to do? What's plan B? And I literally took $40 out of my wallet, slammed it on the table, and went, you're not my fucking friends. Don't fucking talk to me. There is no plan B.
Damn.
And, 3, 4, 5 years later, when I started throwing like big expensive parties and shit, some of them would come back and be like, what if I never talked to you? I'd be like, I'd still be happy. I realized that it's okay to have broke friends, but you're pretty much a long-term acquaintance, and I like you, but my life wouldn't really change. I changed it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know what they say? They say that you're the sort of the product of your 5 closest friends, right? And if your 5 friends are broke, you're going to be the 6th broke guy. But if you hang out
there's only 2 things you can do about it. You can change your friends, or you can change your friends. And I don't fucking know which one's harder.
That's hardcore. All right, that was J-Rod's question, right? We're up on Spider Guy now, I think.
Okay. So, I mean, we get into this. Chuck, if a guy wants to get physically fit, like what are some tips you can give? I mean, I work out. I don't need any tips, but for the guys out there that are like 145 pounds just starting out, what are some fitness tips you can give to some guys out there?
I just want to interject. Like, I work out too, but the last time I asked Chuck a question like this, he gave me a really fucking great tip, and I started implementing it, and I've seen like really great results. So
what tip was that? Because I feel like you look svelte now.
It was the drop sets. You were like till failure. Just fucking start high and just work out until your fucking muscles don't work anymore. And I was just like, all right. Because I've always been like the 3 sets of 10 guy or 5x5s. And I was like, all right, fuck it. So I was like, all right, I'll do drop sets. And I'm like, holy shit. Like, I feel like I'm just completely drained after I'm done lifting now.
It's wonderful.
So yeah, Chuck, let's give us some fucking pro bodybuilder shit, man.
Everything just like the real estate thing. And I mean, that's really what gave me the confidence to start my own business and do the real estate thing. Like, I got into college to wrestle at 160 pounds, but I also don't read books. I learned from going to class, and I'd have to miss practice or miss class, and I'd wind up like failing out of school. So I just gave it up, and I started lifting weights. And same thing. I mean, just approach it like it's a fucking beautiful obsession, not a hobby. Nobody's ever good at a fucking hobby. And I mean, one of the first things I did was just looked around at everybody that keeps getting bigger, and the first thing they fuck up and do wrong is they quit. So never quit, never miss a day, fucking ever, and just keep building on it. I mean, it's knowledge. Like we were talking about mentors before with J. Rudd. I would constantly just hunt down the next big, strong dude to work out with till I got bigger and stronger. When I was a kid, when I was 16, I kind of went through one of these like half-ass scared straight programs. I know it's hard to believe, right?
What?
And one of the speakers who came in, one of the inmates in his orange jumpsuit, was this guy Carmine Mercadante. He's still a Facebook friend of mine to this day. And he was also a monster and an Olympic bronze medalist as a wrestler. And I actually became this guy's pen pal. And then after I graduated high school, this guy got shot in the back 5 times. Most people wouldn't have lived. Most people wouldn't have been wide enough to get hit 5 times. He got shot like shoulder to hip with an Uzi. I saw this guy with bullet holes in his back at the gym. I was like, holy fuck, Carmine. Like, I worked out with that guy for literally a year. Did everything they told me to do, never deviated. And one of the things that I kind of implemented from like wrestling or whatever else is I was fucking afraid of working out too hard. And like when I really like started taking it seriously and like got thrown out of gyms and sent to a bodybuilding gym, one of the things that I did was routinely the first week of every month, for years, I would work out till I vomited, shit myself, or passed out. That didn't happen the first week of the month. I failed. And then I'd scale that back. So I'm right in that sweet spot where I'm just absolutely fucking killing myself, leaving nothing behind. Plus, it helps you sleep at night. And then the rest of it is just following directions, following a diet, following a workout plan. And just the more you put into it, the more you get out. I mean,
you sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I actually found out about real estate from Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Wow.
Because every time he won a bodybuilding contest, he'd go buy a multifamily house. Before you know it, he'd bricklaying companies and other shit. The guy didn't even have to fucking work. And that's why he got into acting, because he had a lot of time.
The more you know.
Yeah, if you flip past like the biceps and all that other shit, those are some good stuff about him.
And every time he gets a pump, it's like he's coming.
It's like he's coming.
Yeah.
Get in the chopper. Get in the chopper.
I mean, I just say take it fucking seriously. You know, figure out what you are. If you're a hard gainer, you're 140 pounds. There was like 4 years of my life I didn't do cardio, 4.5, and I went from 160 to 295.
Dang, man.
Just absolute fucking monster. And for 4.5 years, I did not miss a workout.
You said that took about 4 years?
4.5 years to go from 160 to 295.
Okay.
Wow.
My waist went from probably at its smallest was a 34. When I graduated college, it was a 38.
Wow.
Just absolute. I mean, genetically, I've got some stuff going on, but you still have to push it. You have to eat, 5-6 times a day religiously. It's a habit, and I just wanted to get out of college with something other than a degree. And part of me did really want to become like the best representation of masculinity I could become, because I started my job in Manhattan when I was 19, part-time. And I noticed pretty quick that it was something that all these dudes with money and all the ex-convicts that I worked with respected. So I just kept going with it because you can't fucking buy it.
Very true. Very true. I love bodybuilding.
And now I see all these guys with money now. And I literally go to real estate clubs and investment clubs, and it's like, of course I'm going to get more fucking action than everybody else. I can see my dick, and I haven't had 3 heart attacks yet. I haven't even had one.
Jesus.
It's funny. That's one of the principles I try to teach guys is like, look, you don't have to be fucking Mr. Ripped and shit like that. You just need to look better than the next guy. And like where I live out in the middle of nowhere, much like J-Rud, and like all these fucking dudes out here are all like, just overweight. They got the Dunlap belly and shit, and it's like, I'm in pretty decent shape. I run all the time. I'm not like crazy ripped, but I look better than all those fucking guys. And so I go on tons of dates, Well, I used to. Now I'm tied down right now, but I was going on tons of dates. I didn't have any problem on the dating circuit. And then these guys, would hit me up on TikTok, and I'd be like, "What's your excuse, man? Like why can you not get a date? What's holding you back? Maybe you should try fucking looking better than the next guy."
You only got one body, and like, I mean that is the vehicle to carry you through all of this. Have I done some crazy shit with mine? Yeah, but I would argue to say that a lot of my business associates, friends, stuff like that, I would argue by saying by achieving the same status level or even higher and not taking care of themselves. I mean, I just had a friend die at he's younger than me. I think he was like 40 of a heart attack a couple of weeks ago. It's crazy. And it's people just obsess over money and work towards it. And if you can't enjoy it, if you can't have that and the body to exploit and enjoy all this hypergamy that just throws its fucking self at you, what's the point in the first place?
Very true.
I just don't understand some of these guys where I put out these videos saying, hey, work on your fucking body, maybe go exercise a little bit. I get a lot of people that There's so many fucking lazy ass people out there that just don't want to put the work in. And then
54% of Americans are obese, man.
Yeah.
I think
and
it's
they're like,
56 now.
they're proud of their fucking like being overweight. And they're like, oh, well, real girl's going to like me for me. Yeah. Fat girl.
Body positivity.
Right. A girl that doesn't want to fucking
that.
put any work in is going to be into you. Sure. Because she doesn't want any pressure.
Either that or you better have fucking tens of millions.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. You better have money. If you're gonna get in shape, you better have a lot of money.
Something's
You're
got
gonna
to
need it.
compensate.
You're gonna need it to buy back your health later on anyway.
Right.
Damn, man.
Yeah.
There's some sick Dalai Lama quote about that. Anybody know the one I'm talking about?
I know. I don't know the quote, but I know of it.
But
I know what you're talking
it's like man sacrifices his health and youth to acquire money, only later to sacrifice his money to try to regain his health, and in the end, he dies having never truly lived.
about.
Damn. Some deep shit
Deep.
right there.
Look at this. We're going to ask Chuck about bodybuilding, and all of a sudden we're getting all this fucking life knowledge and shit.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'm kind of deep. I was trying not to go so deep. Sorry.
No. Don't, please do.
Just let me know when it hurts.
I think keep going. No.
Pause. Pause.
J Rudd, you're up, man.
I thought it was your turn. You interjected. Did you
No,
ask a question?
no, you still haven't asked. I think we started off with the bodybuilding, and we've just been talking about this whole thing the whole time. I think.
That's what's up. All right, Chuck. I want to know.
What do you want to know?
I want to know, man. How does one ask for a polyamorous relationship? That's what I want to know. I want a polyamorous relationship.
You don't ask for it.
You tell.
What do you tell them?
I mean, are we looking at like overall, or are we just looking at like my current one?
Your current one.
Okay, my current one, like first date face to face, was, listen, I struggle with monogamy, so please don't expect that from me. I will be 100% honest with you, but I did not, jack my net worth up to what it is and build this fucking empire and almost win the Mr. America to have to live with and support one chick. I know what I am. That's a fucking prize. And if you play your cards right, there's a good chance you might win. However, I'm going to inspect monogamy from you if you want to get married, have children. And I mean, there are some difficult conversations. I guarantee you're going to have some trouble along the way. I with the girl I was with beforehand, the mother of my kids, it initially started out as open, then she locked it back down, then she wanted kids, and it was like, great. You want kids? I want to fuck other chicks. Certainly we can find a way. and we argued back and forth for a long time, and then it was like I was taking my dad to Brazil for 10 days, and it was like, we're either going to figure this out or be gone by the time I get home. And that night she kind of broke down and was like, here's the rules. Keep it off Facebook, no public embarrassment, no knocked up chicks, no STDs, and she's number one. And I mean, with my current wife, the rules or what's acceptable is different. Personally, I wouldn't want to know as much as she knows, but she does. It takes some coming to terms with, but this is what,
So Chuck, so what you're saying is your previous girl, she didn't know as much as the one that you're with currently.
She didn't want to know as much.
But this one wants to know everything.
Correct. Although sometimes I do tell her too much.
I wouldn't.
That's jeez, boy. Jeez, bro. Jeez.
Listen, you can judge a man's happiness, his wealth, his success in life by the amount of difficult conversations he's willing to have. And I know that if I don't do this, because this is something that I want, and that leads to a level of depression that I don't want to deal with, and ultimately I'm going to leave. So why don't we figure this out now? Like adults, what's acceptable, what's not acceptable. And if something's not acceptable, you got to be comfortable saying no. I'm sorry. I'm keeping that one. She's been in my rotation for 7 years.
It was a very powerful.
It gets weird too, to where like some of the side pieces that I've known for a while are oddly very supportive of my wife. They're like, "Wow, he's amazing. You're so lucky." They don't really cross paths, but sometimes they interact on TikTok or whatever. And
It's the whole you're a king. Like if you look at like kingships of the past, like kings had like what 32 wives or whatever, and they were all supporting one another and they worked together to support the king and similar aspects, I think.
yeah, I have I got a pretty big Muslim following on TikTok, which is interesting.
Same actually on Instagram.
Not gonna call anybody out, but like one of my lawyers is on there. I know he's got 2 wives, 7 daughters, and he's the one who brought it up to me. He's like, the Muslim Lawyers Society of New Jersey thinks you're the most woke white man there is. They all love your content. We follow it all. Plus, you have a red beard, and so did Muhammad. I'm like, okay, cool.
That's hilarious. You know, it's funny. The whole polymono thing. It's weird. Like I talk a lot about guys spinning plates when they're dating. You know, like you should be dating multiple women. It's just a much more efficient way of dating. But like personally, if I'm exclusive with someone, like I'm it's just easier to be exclusive. But and I don't know if that's just a self-limiting belief, and it probably is, because a lot of guys in the comments are like, "How can you date multiple women at once?" And I'm like, "It's easier." And then I'm like, "But I wouldn't do polymono." And then I'm like, "But maybe that's fucking easier." I don't know. Like,
first of all, nothing worth having in life is easy.
Touche.
Okay, and I mean, I go out, you see 80, 90-year-old men, an attractive girl walks by, they still look. We all want to act on it, and I am okay with being in a relationship in the traditional sense where I'll love you, I'll support you. Some of the shit that I do may be fucking simpy. I mean, give girls stupid shit, but I am not going to be your sexual prisoner. I got some control issues too, but just not doing it. And I mean, life is fucking short, and I feel like a lot of times in business you get together and that's all guys talk about anyways, who they're slamming other than their wife. The only difference is I don't have to keep it a secret.
Yeah.
I'm actually I own what I am, like Spider-Man. Spider Guy owns his mask.
Yes.
Great analogy.
That's what's up.
So Chuck, I think it's my turn. One of the fucking craziest stories I've heard from you so far was on my podcast, and you were talking about your fucking sales funnel of like how you like were dating, your dating seduction sales funnel. Can you give us a quick breakdown of that? Because that is magic.
Yeah, it's the exact same principle I use for buying houses or information marketing, and I'll give you the quick breakdown of it. So first of all, it doesn't even have to be you sending out these messages. We use round numbers to make it simple. I got divorced, got my bachelor pad back, took on a roommate. This job, you have a place to live, clean, do laundry, work my dating profiles. So I throw them on Plenty of Fish. Let's say you can only send out 25 messages at a time. Pickup line was, do you like margaritas? Monday would be blondes, Tuesday would be Asian chicks, Wednesday would be black chicks, and so on and so forth. First grouping of 25 would have 1 question mark. Second grouping would have 2. Third grouping would have 3. Fourth grouping would have 4. And then there was response buckets where if they gave you a response to where they pushed you to another platform, let's say Facebook, or gave you a phone number, that's your rainy day bucket. Those girls are already forthcoming with information. They're literally effortless. You just need to show up. You've already slept with them. There's the girls who do like margaritas, the girls who don't, those go into your conversation bucket. Obviously the ones that don't respond. And then I have several scripted conversations, just like I have on my phone today, where it's cut, paste, cut, paste, cut, paste. And I mean, I take it pretty fucking far. I don't want to leave anything to really chance to where I'm literally cracking the same jokes with all the girls the same time over, sending them all the same dick pic. And because I want to get that out there. Well, no, I want to see how easily offended they are. And if they're offended by that, I don't even want to fucking meet. Plus, you know, here it is. Let me know if that's adequate. Do you approve of the hardware? And a lot of it's follow-up conversation. All this can be outsourced. It works. You probably don't have to take on a roommate like I did. I'm sure you can outsource it through Fiverr or something like Paul told me earlier.
Yeah.
I've thought about it before, and I mean, I don't know what to say other than it just absolutely works. It maximizes leads because that's what they are.
Chuck turned
Right.
dating into a freaking business. Oh,
You pre-qualified them.
Yeah.
I do have this on one of my old laptops fleshed out into a manual, and there's flow charts. It's actually scheduled to be returned
he's
to
got
me.
flow charts.
Well, yeah, you have to have flow charts so other people can follow it for you, because you have to have people interact as you,
How else are you going
For
to
you.
outsource
Wow.
this shit? Yeah.
which they do
Yeah,
for
right.
me in my. Well, they do it for me in my business. So why couldn't they do it for me in this business?
Chuck,
This isn't
you
a
are an
hobby.
impressive Chuck. You are one of the most impressive, besides my father, one of the most impressive fucking dudes I've ever met in my fucking life. Jesus Christ.
Definitely.
You gotta have the flow chart so that they can fuck.
Oh, you want to
Like-
take it? You want to take it to the next level? I mean, I literally took it to the point of where I accidentally stumbled into a Plenty of Fish event in Hoboken at a bar after I did a speaking engagement. It was filling up with all these people. I'm like, what's this? So I was like, it's a Plenty of Fish like meetup event. I'm like, okay. I convinced my assistant to stay. I talked to the girl running it. It was $5 at the door.
Mm.
And I'm like, this is fucking stupid. We're going to do this again. We're going to up it to $20 because I don't think any of these people really care in Hoboken. They all have money.
Right.
You're going to keep $5. I'm going to keep $5. We're going to give the house $5. And we're going to give the bartender $5. Everybody gets a drink coupon. So now I'm actually getting paid to date. And I'm signing
Damn,
everybody in.
Chuck.
So they all need to interact with me. How's it going? My name's Chuck. I'm running this event. This is Jennifer. She'll be my co-host. I don't have time to talk to you now, but I did want to tell you you're beautiful. Do me a favor. Pick up that pen. Thanks. Sign in. Great. I'll catch you later. Better yet, you find me. I'm busy.
Damn.
Now he's got status on his
Jesus.
side. Fucking genius.
Well, I mean, it's the same thing I did in college too. I ran a bar in a frat house, and it's just
You
I
created
have
your
no
own
I have no
hierarchy.
game, so I create kingdoms.
You also told me though that when you were doing this, when your the first initial date was always the same with the chicks. You would the bartender would be involved. Someone would call the woman and be like, Mr. Kohout would like to know what
Yeah.
kind of drink you're having and shit like that. Like that kind of stuff is fucking like next level.
So I had a team of 3, right? It was my roommate Rich, who would text, schedule, set the dates, and then Friday and Saturday there's a 6 o'clock, 9 o'clock, and midnight seating at Pancho's Burritos. It's just like it's like a nightclub now. It's 2 blocks from my bachelor pad, which is pretty fucking awesome. Rich would confirm everybody on Thursday for the date on Friday. He frequently would make 2 or 3 dates for the same time, so I would have to be the one flaking or canceling. But if I
Mhm.
did, we'd do it by who was more attractive, and he'd send me pictures, and then I'd ask them to forgive me. I'd tell them I'm definitely buying dinner the following weekend, and before you know it, you just have a backlog. And before I left my house for my 6 o'clock, I'd hit a timer, and I'd just go, if I'm not back here nailing this chick in 90 minutes or less, I am a fucking failure. And it was just
Damn.
brutal honesty the entire time. If I was ever running late, what would happen would be my assistant Carol would then go ahead and call Mike, the gay bartender, who had like one of these Jersey Shore blowouts. He had a picture too. We'd be like, oh, these seats are for you. Mr. Kohout's here. We have your pineapple margarita waiting. And it worked.
You just create status wherever you go, Chuck.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Don't need a crown to be a king.
My wife went on the first date with me. She just walked in. What's up, babe?
She's just like,
She-
hi, hello.
She's in like going to be in like every episode now. I think like
Babe, you're in every podcast episode.
Really?
Yeah.
because
Yeah,
she
I have to ask you to leave.
she shows up like whenever like we're recording and stuff. It's like, oh hi, hey, don't mind me.
Doing the dishes while you guys are recording your. Oh.
I know, right? Like that was funny. J Red, I think you're up, brother.
I think I am. Let me think of my question. I have one. And I'm gonna say, all right, sure. Okay, here's what I want to know. When you first met Black Spider Guy Advice and you saw that mask, I want to know what was that the weirdest meeting that you ever had, or what was the weirdest meeting that you ever had?
The weirdest meeting I've ever had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, because for the people that are watching this, Black Spider Guy Advice actually went to Chuck's office one day, like for our first business meeting to put this all together, and they were Black Spider Guy Advice was like hobnobbing with all the people in Chuck's office and shit. And I was, it was like
it was an interesting day.
Yeah, because Black Spider Guy Advice wears that mask everywhere. Yeah,
everywhere. even in the Uber, they're like, "Who are you?" Like, you don't even know that.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that was pretty far from the weirdest meeting I've ever had.
Oh, go on. Yeah.
Because what I do is I buy and sell distressed properties, which has nothing to do with the property. It's always the seller. So I'm constantly dealing with people in ridiculous amounts of trouble that you can't imagine. And I mean, I have had naked meetings on a few occasions where you've got somebody who is a criminal who's running from something. They're trying to sell you the house. They're trying to do whatever. And I was like, listen, if I get completely fucking butt naked and you do too, is that gonna make you feel comfortable enough to realize that I'm not wearing a wire? So, I mean, done a couple of those.
Just balls out, just talking.
Literal balls out. Like literal.
Literal lift them up, show me there's no microphone under there. We cool now? Can we talk business? Good. I mean, I bought a house in a strip club. I've had some pretty fucking weird meetings. I've walked through some houses with people, found a couple bodies, just pictures on my phone, some weird shit. And I mean, I've even, I can't tell you how many times people have had to divorce me that I was never married to. Whereas a husband and wife trying to sell a house and it's got to be sold to be resolved, and the husband or the wife doesn't want to fight anymore. Nobody's going to tell you this, but you can buy 50% of that house for the outstanding debt, and then they got to fight with you. And I don't like to fight. I love to. And it's just funny when somebody's trying to get rid of you and it's absolutely emotionless. It's just business. That's great. Yell and scream. Okay.
That's hard.
Kind of cute. You want to rebound? Yeah, it's a weird business. And there's definitely been some weird ass meetings.
So our meeting was not the weirdest. All right.
Yeah, that actually seems pretty fucking tame at this point.
It was incredibly tame. And I mean, there's been some really weird ass meetings with like quasi famous people in trouble and shit that I'm not even going to mention, but weird.
For legal reasons, we don't want to get this podcast sued. Yeah. Before we even get off the ground, you know.
Oh, come on. Yeah.
Was that J-Red or was that Spider Guy? That was J-Red.
That was J-Red.
All right, Spider Guy's turn.
Okay, let me think. Let me ponder inside of my mind. So, you know, Chuck, you said that you're dyslexic, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because I know I have Asperger's. Like, I think extremely fast. I think so fast sometimes the words just come out and I'm not even like realizing that I'm saying it sometimes. But with you, you know, how would you say that? How is it for you? Like your thought process when it comes to having, you know, autism or you know, slight autism.
It's unfair to other people once you learn how to use it. It is something I would never want to be without.
Oh, same here.
I mean, yeah, I have a niece that has it, and it's wild once you learn how to use it. Like, I'm never really going to be able to spell properly. I mean, I was playing Scrabble the other day, just fucking comic relief for the first time in like 20 years.
Same here.
But the cool side of it is like my brain just rips shit apart and puts it back together in every possible way literally faster than I can comprehend, and I have the solution. And I almost didn't really realize how smart I was till like I had to start explaining the shit that I knew to people. Like when I started teaching real estate stuff to people, they're like, holy fuck, this guy like knows it. Now I get paid to teach lawyers. I've literally spoken at Seton Hall Law on the practical application of real estate law.
Wait, so when I found out I had Asperger's, because for me, I was really good at school, but I had really bad social skills. What Asperger's for me was like I couldn't really talk to people, because if I spoke, it'd be like a dictionary. So how did you kind of funnel it? Because for me, I have to like funnel it in order for it to kind of control itself. I'm very bad at spelling, can't write well, but I'm like a genius at a whole bunch of stuff, and I don't know why.
Really bad at school, but I have really good social skills, and I grew up in a bakery in Garfield, New Jersey since I was born, where like literally learned to walk in it, and I was exposed to like 300 to 400 people a day. So it's just always kind of been there. I've always been good at talking to people because there's not much else I'm really good at.
Wait, so would you say
figure shit out and lift weights? That's about it.
So for you, it's the opposite.
Yeah.
Like for me, it's information, but people, it's like eh. But for you, it's for people and information, eh.
I like information. I like people. And for some reason, for a lot of them, I don't know if it's status, stature, whatever, I seem to instill confidence in them. And I mean, with my business now, with buying distressed properties, I don't even market that much. It's just like my reputation. People go, this guy helped me out. Nobody else could fix it. Can you?
Because I never heard of you until I met you. So it's like,
I never heard of you till I met you either. So
yeah,
we're learning.
Touche.
Touche. Whose turn is it? Oh, sorry.
I think it's my turn. I just want to say something about that though. So like today, at the time of this recording, our interview dropped, Chuck, and a guy that's a friend of mine. He lives in Israel. He's one of my 3% brothers. He also is a little dyslexic and stuff like that. And he specifically commented on the YouTube video of our interview saying, wow, I did not know that Chuck Daddy was dyslexic, and that whole thing that he's talking about, like ripping things apart. He's like, that's how I think. That was really awesome that he was able to.
Yeah, there's a book I want you to tell that guy to read.
Okay.
Or listen to. It's hard to find the audio, believe it or not. It's The Gift of Dyslexia.
Okay.
And Spider Guy, you should probably read it too, but it will lead you to such a better understanding of how your mind works, and it completes things. And I mean, like, one of the things I didn't get is like a lot of my professors in college would take me out on like these field expeditions to collect shit because I was good at catching snakes and finding things nobody else could. And like this book literally explains where it's like, here's a cat hiding behind whatever, but nobody else knew it was a fucking cat except for you because you saw the tail and your brain completed the entire thing.
Yes, that happens all the time.
Yeah.
It's weird. Like I'm not dyslexic. I don't have Asperger's and stuff like that, but I can complete a thought from incomplete information. Like if someone gives me something, they say there's two types of people in the world: people that can extrapolate from incomplete information, right, and those who can't. So it's like I'm one of those people. Like I can complete that sentence without someone completing it for me. But I can imagine you guys are like that on steroids.
Yeah. I mean, you don't want to play trivia with me.
Really, I can make almost like any kind of movie, create any kind of scenario. I can act it out and be all the characters all at once.
That's fucking all the nuts.
Voices. Yeah. Growing up, it was difficult.
I mean, in a good way. Yeah.
People would find me talking to myself, and they're like, "Why are you talking to yourself?" I'm like, "I have like 20,000 voices in my head. Like I kind of have to kind of pick and choose and calm each one down. That's why I'm so erratic sometimes."
Yeah, I mean, this is some shit I've been dealing with my entire life, and once you realize that there are like tremendous upsides to it, I mean, tons of CEOs have dyslexia, tons of actors, famous people have it, and it's literally like when you learn how your brain works, it's wired differently. And it's almost like they refer to it as evolutionary, where it's like the ultimate like hunter's mind, to where you can find things and like you're in tune to almost everything around you. It's it gets pretty frightening. Yeah, sometimes I can listen to like 3 conversations at once and discern what all of them are going on, or like be doing 2 completely different tasks at once. And like I've figured out answers while I've been given like 90-minute speeches and like wrote stuff down at the same time. You have like a dual processor. It's weird.
Nice. Do you ever have a situation where you meet somebody, or if you see someone, like for me, like when I'm working, I can tell if somebody has like a slight haircut or change that no one else can see, or like their one shoe is torn on the right hand side and it wasn't originally torn, and they're like, "Why do you care about that?" I'm like, "It's not that I don't care about it. It's not that I care about it. It's more like details."
All the time.
It's like
attention to detail.
Yeah.
To the next level.
It's annoying.
All right, I think it's my turn, and with the way that these answers go, this might be the last question. But Chuck,
a lot of stuff to dump out there.
No, this is great. We have to fill up a whole hour. So
you want to go too? You want to go too?
No. So Chuck, one of the things that I did not know about until you came on my podcast was that one of the reasons why you blew up initially was because you pissed off Rosie O'Donnell and you pissed off Tom Segura. And I would love for you to give us a synopsis of that situation.
I mean, the Rosie O'Donnell thing, like, mind you, I wasn't even really into like the red pill content or anything, but I was watching all these dating coaches and everything was like pro tip this, pro tip that. I was like, imagine if these guys actually gave you like useful information. So, I mean, with the Rosie O'Donnell one, I literally just went pro tip. If a girl has a dating profile picture from the top down like this, she's a big fat fuck. And like my stitch was my stitch was open and like people just went nuts on it, and like it was wild. There's like this body positivity war, and there's all these other people like chiming in that body positivity is bullshit, and it's backed by like Lane Bryant, and they're just trying to make people sick, and it was just ridiculous. And Rosie O'Donnell stitched my video, and I immediately screen recorded it because I knew that big fat pig would take it down. So I constantly just reposted on Instagram and tag her, and yeah, I used to like her when she was younger, like a stand-up comedian, but now she's just terrible. And
she's ghost in the wind.
Yeah. First of all, if you see her in the video, it's terrifying. She looks like somebody's grandpa.
Yeah.
And,
oh my god! Because you just reposted that the other day, or like was it yesterday or whatever? And I was like, holy fuck! Like that's the video. Like she does look terrible.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Dude, I couldn't do it. I'm be straight up honest with you. I couldn't even tell if that was a man or a woman. And then I was like, oh, that's Rosie O'Donnell.
I mean, again, all the money, all the money in the world doesn't mean shit if you can't take care of yourself.
Anytime,
it's terrible, but I look at that picture. I'm like, how long does she have to go?
When you first told me you pissed off Rosie O'Donnell, like I follow politics, you know, and not to get too political, but no matter what you think of the guy, whether you like him or you don't like him, there's a soundbite of Donald Trump when someone's like, hey, you said that, you know, these women are like fat pigs or whatever. He goes, hey, I only said that about Rosie O'Donnell.
Ironic.
I immediately thought of like, oh my God, that's some Chuck shit right there. Of course, she would stitch Chuck's video and make Chuck famous on TikTok.
That's funny as shit, dude.
All the fat fucks just, you know, have something to say. You know, here's what I always tell people: if you don't fit the description of what I'm talking about, then shut the fuck up.
Yeah. I don't know. Politics aside, as a businessman, you gotta fucking respect Donald Trump. It's like the dude did something.
But you know, bad publicity is good publicity to me. Anybody that hates me just makes me stronger.
We should set a goal with this podcast. Let's have like 1,000 haters.
Yes.
Ooh, I like that. Like that.
That's sweet.
Measurable goals. Yeah. So Chuck, so what about Tom Segura? Because one of your videos made it on like he has a podcast or something, right?
Yeah, a bunch of people started texting me. One of your videos made it to Tom Segura's podcast, pissed him off, and my immediate reaction was like, "Hey, that's great. Who's Tom Segura?"
Right. I've never heard of him either. Yeah.
Same.
Who's that?
He's some comedian, and it's actually coming around. I was thinking to go see him.
Yeah, I noticed that because today, I wanted to tag him in that video where you were talking about him and Rosie, and so I was like, I'm going to tag both these fuckers, and so I went to his Twitter account or whatever, and he's got one called his tour right now is called "I'm Coming Everywhere." And he got mad.
Wow.
Like he got mad at Chuck. Like, fuck you, man.
Well, he does the podcast with his wife, so.
Oh, okay. Maybe
God.
she was. I bet he would probably got a chuckle out of it. Because what were you talking about in that video?
Oh, saving every picture of every
Yes.
girl that they've ever sent you ever, and cataloging them in a serial killer style log so you can access them quickly. This way, when they're 30 or 40 and they want to fuck you later, you can go, no, this is what I was interested in. It no longer exists, but you captured it and gave it to me in its fleeting moment of beauty. I would like to have you to have it back. See you around next lifetime.
Yes, that was it. Because that was fucking solid gold. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I
and,
know she hated that.
but the reality is they fall off fucking quick, and shit, you might as well save those pictures because they ain't gonna look that way for long. It's like buying flowers. They'll be dead by the end of the week.
That's right.
I look at some of the pictures now. It's like you do side by sides. It's like terrifying.
Yeah, they age a lot faster than we do.
They
Once
age
they
like
hit-
milk.
They actually really truly biologically do. And there's studies done on this. Their skin ages like 15 to 20 years quicker by the time they're 30, I think.
Yep. And they lose about 90% of their eggs once they hit around 30. So, Yeah, a lot of girls don't understand that their biology isn't made to be like ours, but they try so hard to be like us.
I mean, if you think about it from like a friggin' just like a nature perspective, I mean, men are judged pretty much based on their performance. So look at like lions or deer or something. They fight, and whoever wins gets all the females, and they try to stay on top for as long as they can. Then they just ride off into the sunset and die, and somebody else is bagging them.
Yeah.
The new king, the new silverback, or whatever.
Pretty
Not
much.
saying that's exactly how we work, but it ain't too far off.
Yeah, a lot of people don't seem to understand that we're still just animals, just in nice cages, and biology still plays a role whether you like it or not.
Yeah, it's funny. I've had Morgan May on my podcast a couple times, and a lot of fucking red pill guys hate Morgan May because she's basically a fucking gold digger. And I say that lovingly, Morgan, because she's a cool chick. But when you actually talk with her, she's actually a pretty cool chick. She has a whole video about that, because she actually believes that stuff. She's actually pretty red pilled if you actually talk to her. She talks about how men should be the leaders and women should be the followers and stuff like that. And one of the things that she says is like, hey, in nature we don't see equality, we see hierarchy.
Ooh, interesting.
Yeah, and a lot of red pill guys, if they like actually talked with her or watched a bunch of her videos, would be like, oh, okay, she's on to something here. But she gets a lot of hate because she's hypergamous and she embraces it, and she's looking for a fucking like alpha male fucking rich guy, So she's like,
I mean, I've asked girls like just in public settings that have thought, like, why were you attracted to me? Because I know clearly I'm not the best looking guy there, but they'll tell you it's like you just looked like you, like protective, security, like alpha, dominant. Everybody else in the room was talking about you.
mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah,
good. They all did what I paid them to do.
but women are security-seeking creatures. That's what it comes down to.
Security,
100.
stability.
I think we have time for one more question. If Chuck can answer it quickly.
I'll
And
do my
that-
best.
That means it's we're on Jade right here, and then this is the last question.
Oh
Is it-
man,
Anybody
Chuck,
think
I'm
you
gonna
got a
ask
good
you
one?
this. Yeah. I'm gonna ask you the same question you asked me whenever I was in the hot seat. What is the biggest challenge that you are facing in your life right now?
Wow. Biggest challenge I'm facing in my life right now would probably be either organization, just because my business is growing and I've got to implement a lot of systems and put stuff into place, or court system's kind of a pain in the ass with my baby mama, but I've done everything right, and I'm off probation and moving forward, and I get to see my kids more and more, and I always believe the women first. So
Yeah, gotta love them double standards.
Yeah. Gotta believe all women, right, guys?
Yeah,
That's a bunch of bull.
How dare you? How dare you, J. Rudd? How dare you not believe women?
Man, can you spell misogynistic for me? Can you spell believe for me? If you can't spell believe, I don't.
All right. Well, now you might actually know some shit about Chuck. That was a fucking awesome episode. Thanks.
I might actually go. I'm gonna go and watch your episode with Paul again.
If you want to listen, if you want to do a part 2, still waters run deep. Just come with some fucking different questions.
You know what? We have weekly episodes. We could definitely come back for a part 2 of Chuck.
There's fortunately or unfortunately a lot of shit in here.
In fact, I will say, if you are watching right now, if you want to see a part 2 with Chuck, comment below and hit that fucking like button.
Don't
Give us some questions too.
FLCS.
Ask some questions.
Yeah.
FLCS for life.
Yeah. Yeah. Comment with your fucking questions, and we can compile them all, and we could come back for a part 2, definitely. All right. So next week, I'm in the hot seat. I'm the last one up. So
they said save the best for last. Right?
The rest of these guys are gonna grill the shit out of me with questions. I think I'm gonna nominate J. Rudd to run this because he's had the most experience with podcasts. I think. I mean, like Black Spider Guy's got a podcast, but J. Rudd's had his longer. So I'm gonna nominate J. Rudd to run the next episode, and then everyone else is gonna grill the shit out of me. And if you thought you knew about Paul, you don't know shit. All right, guys. What's that?
Duke products. We do Cannon products for everybody.
Yeah. Duke.comeonmanpod.com. Fuck yeah. All right. We'll catch you guys next week on the Mantastic 4.